Shalom, Hebrews and Shebrews. Welcome to the channel. I am Oilfield Disciple, and today's daily reading of 1Kings chapter 14. Yesterday we read where the two prophets had met, and the one prophet rebelled against the word of Yahweh, not on purpose, but by allowing the other prophet, the old prophet, to persuade him to come and eat and drink, and how that can affect us even today. That sometimes that our lustful desires for something will negate our responsibility to Yahweh. And so we're going to look forward into chapter 14 today and see what that would have for us. You can watch the pump jack go up and down and the weights go round and round, or you can get your Bibles out and follow along with me. If you are not subscribed to this channel and you have been watching for a time, or you're new, accidentally stumbling onto the channel, which we know there's no accidents when it comes to Yahweh, and you like the content, click the subscribe button and the little bell icon, and you will receive notifications when I do new videos. Again, yesterday I did not get to 1 Corinthians chapter 7. I'm not sure why we're not getting to that one, other than sometimes it's not in the cards for the present time. Yahweh holds things from us until he sees that we are ready for it, or for whatever the case may be. And sometimes I know the book of Acts was like that for me for a long time. It was just, I'd start reading it and I couldn't really get into it. And I thought, what in the world? And and I went a long time before I actually ever read the book of Acts. And still to this day, I'm not real sure why that was, of all the books, that one was such a hard one for me to get into, because there's really a lot of good stuff. Now, I would read different inserts and passages from the book of Acts, but as far as just sitting down and reading it, I don't know, it took a while. Also, we know on this channel I've tried to do the prophets on Shabbat. That just hasn't worked out, and so sometimes we step back and we allow Yahweh to go and do the work that he would have for us. Like I said, 1 Corinthians chapter 7 is one I really want to do with my wife, and so when that time comes, that time will come. In the meantime, we're going to continue reading some word. So get your books out, get your Bibles out, turn to 1 Kings chapter 14. And beginning in verse 1, at that time, Abiah, the son of Jeraboam, became sick. And Jeraboam said to his wife, "Please arise and disguise yourself, so that they do not know that you are the wife of Jeraboam, and go to Shiloh. See, YAHs, the prophet, is there, who spoke to me of becoming king over these people. And you shall take with you 10 loaves and cakes and a jar of honey, and go to him. Let him declare to you what becomes of the child." And Jeroboam's wife did so, and rose up, and went to Shiloh, and came to the house of Ahijah, the house of Ahijah. But Ahijah was unable to see, for his eyes had set because of his age. All right, now this queen, the wife of Jeraboam, would have had to have disguised herself for a couple of reasons. One main reason being that the fear that the prophet would give a false word to them about what Yahweh would say, because of who they are, for fear of their own life. That would be the main reason. Well, that would, in Jeroboam's case, I'm going to say it would probably be the only reason. A second reason for other other situations would be to see if it is a true prophet, because a true prophet would know that it is Jeroboam's wife. And so it'd be a test. Is this a true prophet or not? Verse 5. And Yahweh said to Yahu, see, the wife of Jeraboam is coming to ask you a word about her son, for he is sick. Speak to her thus and thus, for it shall be when she comes in that she make herself strange. And it came to be when Ahiyahu heard the sound of her footsteps as she came through the door, he said, Come in, wife of Jeraboam. Why are you making yourself strange? And I have been sent. And I have been sent to you with a hard word. Go and say to Jeroboam, Thus saith Yahweh, Elohim of Israel, because I exalted you from among the people, and made you ruler over my people Israel, and tore the reign away from the house of David, and gave it to you. And you have not been as my servant David, who guarded my commands, and who followed me with all his heart, to do only what was right in my eyes. But you have done more evil than all who were before you. For you have gone and made for yourself other idols, and molded images to provoke me, and have cast me behind your back. Therefore, see, I am bringing evil to the house of Jeroboam, and shall cut off from Jeroboam every male in Israel, whether shut up or left at large, and sweep away the remnant of the house of Jeroboam, as one sweeps away dung until it is all gone. So he's going to make his lineage as of dung. Those of Jeraboam who die in the city, the dogs do eat, and those who die in the field, the birds of heavens do eat. For Yahweh has spoken it. And you arise and go to your house, and when your feet enter the city, the child shall die. And all Israel shall mourn for him and bury him, for he is the only one of Jeraboam who shall come to the burial site, because in him there is found a good report toward Yahweh, Elohim of Israel, in the house of Jeroboam. And Yahweh shall raise up for himself a king over Israel, who cuts off the house of Jeroboam this day and even now. And Yahweh shall strike Israel as a reed is shaken in the water, and shall pluck Israel from this good soil, which he gave to their fathers, and shall scatter them beyond the river, because they made their Asherim provoking Yahweh. Asherim is a pyramid-type pole. And that is something that it's common with Baal worship. Asherim also resembles a Christmas tree. And he shall give Israel up because of the sins of Jeraboam, who sinned and who made Israel sin. And the wife of Jeraboam rose up and went and came to Tirzah. When she came to the threshold of the house, the child had died. And they buried him, and all Israel lamented for him, according to the word of Yahweh, which he spoke through his servant Ahiyahu the prophet. And the rest of the acts of Jeroboam, how he fought and how he reigned, see, they are written in the book of annals of the sovereigns of Israel. And the days of Jeroboam reigned was 22 years. And so he slept with his fathers, and Nadab his son reigned in his place. Meanwhile, Rehoboam, son of Solomon, reigned in Yehudah. Rehoboam was 40 years old when he became king, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which Yahweh had chosen out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there, and his mother's name was Naamah the Ammonitess. All right, so okay, so Jeroboam, now remember I went over this a bunch. In order to understand this lineage, we have to understand that there's two houses, the house of Judah and the house of Israel. And Rehoboam is the house of Judah, where Jeroboam was the house of Israel. Verse 22, and Yehudah, or Judah, did evil in the eyes of Yahweh, and they provoked him to jealousy with their sins which they committed. more than all their fathers had done. So they also built for themselves high places and pillars, and Asherim on every high hill and under every green tree. And there were also cult prostitutes in the land, and they did according to all the abominations of the nations which Yahweh dispossessed before the children of Israel. All right, now this goes back to keeping Yahweh's feast days, or keeping the holidays of the nations. It came to be in the 5th year of the reign of Rehoboam that Shishak, sovereign of Egypt, came up against Jerusalem, and he took away the treasures of the house of Yahweh and the treasures of the sovereign's house, and he took away all. And he took away all the shields of gold which Solomon had made. And the sovereign Rehoboam made shields of bronze to replace them, and entrusted them in the hands of the chiefs of the guard who guarded the entrance of the king's house. And it came to be, whenever the king went into the house of Yahweh, the guards would bring them, then take them back into the guard room. And the rest of the acts of Rehoboam, and all that he did, and are they not written in the book of annals of the kings of Yehuda? And there was fighting between Rehoboam and Jeraboam all the days. And so Rehoboam slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. And the name of his mother was Naamah the Ammonitess. And Abiam, his son, reigned in his place. So these two kings, Rehoboam and Jeroboam. Let me look at something here real quick. I hope I have it still here. Yep, I may have left it at the church. Yeah, I left it at the church, I think. Nope, there it is. Alright, so I have this cheat sheet scale here of kings and prophets. Rehoboam, Jeraboam reigned 931 to 910 BC, almost 1,000 years before Messiah. So this is the for Solomon's rebellion. Israel is divided. The house of Israel is divided. The house of Judah will become the remnant, but the house of Israel will be scattered completely. And so from this point forward, we will see that the house of Judah is still about, but the house of Israel has been scattered due to rebellion. Now take that to heart, because disobedience and rebellion is something that Yahweh does not take kindly to. And so we need to take that in consideration when we go, yeah, but did God really say? Yeah, but did Jesus do this on the cross? Did he do away with this on the cross? You know, puts us in a dangerous position. And so we'll let that be the word today. Y'all be blessed, be encouraged, and always be frustrated. This is the oil-filled disciple, and I will catch y'all on the next video.